All right, boys. So this is the run install for Chilton, and it says 23 plays up here, but it's only 16. So it's the same as last week. It's going to be just 16 plays. What Coach did is he went and he looked at stuff that worked last year, like when Kohler was running spread versus Chilton, like what stuff was available, and he noticed some trends. So we're going to take care and accent those things that are going to work. The stuff that's going to be where we really need to improve our game is, and you guys know this, right, by looking at rosters and everything else and watching film, these dudes, big, and big, right? And this nose guard is 280 pounds and flies off the ball. So we have to do a better job up front. Now there's some physics angles we can work, right? If a guy is that big and going that low and that fast, that means that's a lot of forward momentum. So anytime that we get any truck motion or anytime that we get any jets or anything like that to the outside, we're just going to cut these big bodies down. And we're going to work just on that during the week. So we're going to have 3 big black pop-up bags, and we're going to have people running through you, and you have to get on the ground and cut. So anytime that you see something in black here, that means you're just going boom, and you're not going down to your belly, right? We're working on cutting through their thigh boards, cutting them down, right? Chopping trees. That's what we're doing up front here. The other thing is we just have to be tougher up front. What happened against New Holstein, it's like we needed another maybe a quarter second, and we had some of our offensive linemen quitting early. And during the game, it looked like, Chase was getting frustrated. And part of that, I think it's like he's going hard, but we're not all going hard. Some of us are quitting early. And anytime that happens, you notice that the things start crumbling and things start falling apart. So you really have to have a good week with the O-line this week. So here we go. 16 plays. We have flips and Roger Louis, and that's why it's up to 23. The first one we're going to change a little bit. So Coach noticed when they put guys in motion, they didn't necessarily adapt well to motion, and we might be able to flood with the number of guys we have in space. So this is just going to be 10 jet keep. Okay, so cut, spy. Guards are going to be spying anytime that we run truck or we run jet. Okay, and this guy, we want him, Coach is talking about sealing him down inside, putting Chase up to that apex, and then out and spy, and then running another guy through here. So 10 is a jet keep. Okay, next, 11 gut. Gut means just guard and tackle. Guard and tackle are going to be folding. So we know how big these guys are, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to freeze them. So we need a big smart split in the B gap over here and a big smart split in the B gap over here. So we're just going to freeze and wrap on the inside. That's it. So that's our gut. We can run this Roger or Louis. If we run Roger, Chase takes the ball over here and then finds his cut key. If we go Louis, Chase takes the ball over here and finds his cut key. Chase's or the F, your cut key is the block of the center. If the center turns this way, right, the play bends back that way. If the center gets his butt that way, the play bends that way. So just look for the butt of the center. That is your cut key. So that's 11 gut Roger. This is 11 gut Louis. Okay, same thing. Smart splits, cut key off the butt. 12. We're going to run the same thing again. Connor, we talked about this. This is going to be the 12 gut RPO. So we're still going to go the gut, smart split. We're going to freeze and wrap. We're going to freeze, but we can't wrap him, right? So as your center is setting up here, that's when you're going to take a wham shot at the ribs, right? So, and remember, when you do that, you got to be at the same level. So like if your center's high, you can't go low. If the center's low, you can't go high. You got to be at the same level as the center. But what's going to probably happen is that guy's going to be coming in like this on our center, and this is going to be exposed. So give that thing a shot and wake him up. So smart splits over here. We're going to wham the nose. If we check that into a Louis call, this is kind of cool, boys. If we do this, now we have our H running the snag and we have the X running the in. Okay? So we're just running it back the other way. So we got the gut call, right? 12 gut RPO. So it's out. And this guy can't wrap in because that's our RPO. So now we're taking the wham on the nose and we're running the gut on that side. 16 trail. Mamba, but we're going to cut these guys up front. Mamba, mamba, mamba. Okay, and all we want to do is get our quarterback right off tackle. So cut, and this guy's going to be hitting this gap hard, right? So cut, mamba, cut, take shots, and just get off the edge. 16 Louis, same thing, off of the edge. 17 truck. Oh, I should mention this too. If we go 16 and 17, we're going to run both of those as squeeze plays. So we're going to tighten this down up here. We're going to tighten this down up here. Okay? Because we really want to get the leverage here so we can take care of that apex. The problem on our trucks last week was we're not holding this wall right here. And on this side last week, Odin and Eljo couldn't figure out, do I want to pin and he spy, or do I want to replace and he climb? Whatever we did, we were quitting early and this guy was making plays and running us into space, right? So we got to take care of that. We got to pin that edge, and then we got to set that wall. Then we can get the ball out in space. 16 trail Louis. Again, we're going to squeeze. 16 and 17, we're going to squeeze. So now we're down in here, in 17, here and here. Okay. That's our 17 Roger truck. And then our 17 truck Louis. No 18s this week. It just doesn't work with the personnel they have and the angles and the size and everything else. We're running 19 as a keep. So you just come across, let him get across first and then take off. Okay? So let him get into space here so he's got enough of an area to get out and lead for you. But we're still cutting, spy. That's our 19 keep. 20, we always like, or 22 RPO. Out, 2 for 2, down. And that's our read right there. We're not running 21 because this guy comes down so fast and so hard. He's probably gonna close that thing. So we said, well, why not? And probably a smart split right here, Connor, on the 22. But on the 28, let's get another smart split, and let's get this so you have enough room to get down inside, and then it's still out, 2 for 2, down inside, and then H goes up to the apex, right? And let me change this. So that's our read right here. There we go. And you can follow Damien. So we'll probably go make sure that we seal this apex, and we're going to play 2 for 2. So you guys are going to play apex up to the safety. Okay, 2 for 2 that way. Next, 40 Z-Jet triple. We could take a shot right here, or you can just go out. Let's just say out. We'll make it real clear when we want to take shots. When we want to take shots, we're on trails. We want to take shots on jets and trucks. Okay, the rest of the time we'll just play football. 0-jet triple, nice smart split out here. Motioning in, that's our run key. That's our throw key. Now, which is kind of cool, we can go 40 Z-Jet triple flip, so 40 flip, and then we can just take everyone, mirror image, and then run it over this way. Odin, smart split over here, run key, throw key. Okay. 42, right out here. Pin and pull this way. Connor, you can take a shot at that guy if you want. So I'll just put this here. So if you decide to do it, you can do that right there. But that's up to you. Okay, and that's the guy that we're going to spy in the RPO, and then second window and third window. And I suppose we could run a 42 flip as well. So let me just do that real quick. And we'll just say a 42 flip. And there we go. Odin, you decide if you want to cut that guy or not. So on that 42 flip, that's our snag. First window, second window. Now, one thing we should mention too, Justin, remember you always have your key screens and you always have your gift routes. So don't be shy. If you trust your guys and you see those things setting up, take them. 47 truck. Again, cut, spy. We want Y to seal down inside. H is going to the apex that way. And then Chase, you're going to be one-on-one with the safety. Great matchup. 47 flip, same thing going back the other way. 48 truck read. So now we still want to log this thing or seal this wall right inside, make sure we pin this thing and cut these dudes up front. Then we're reading this guy out in space, make him choose, and now H climbs up to the safety. 48 flip. Now, the last thing we have is we have 2 bull plays and 2 bear plays. We have 1 bull play that goes to the tight end, strong, 1 that goes away from the tight end, weak, and then in bear we have 1 that's strong to the tight end, 1 that's weak away from the tight end. Okay? So right now we have bull, weak, and we're not running a 21 Oki, we're running a 21 ISO because we're going to have a nice smart split in there, Odin. And what happens is with the tight end, they're going to be shading and then shading. That's what we think. So if we see this, we'll run it. If we don't see it, we'll go back to the other stuff that we had. So it's just out, down, and then just blow that thing up the middle. So it's going to be a 21 ISO right there. Bull, weak, 21 ISO. Actually, that's strong. So let's change that one. All right. And the next one we have, it's bull. This one's going weak. And this is our 36 power. So again, these big dudes up front, they shade over to the strength. So we have angle, kick, lead, fill, follow. So we got a bull to the strong, bull to the weak. And then our last 2 plays, we have bear going weak and then bear going strong. Our bear going weak is a 31. All right, these guys we think are going to shade to the tight end side. So they're moving over, bumping over. That's great with us. Out, down, kick, lead, 31 power. That's our weak. And then our last play is going to be bear strong. So a bull away from the tight end, a bull to the tight end, a bear away from the tight end, and this one a bear to the tight end. So we're thinking, okay, they're going to be shading from the nose over, apex, and then from the end over. And then we've got the angles out, down, out, and then we got 2 guys blowing up the middle, 36 blast. Okay? So any questions, let me know. Again, 16 plays in our run this week, installation, but we can run Roger Louis and we can run flips. Next thing is I'm finishing this up right now. This is, I have Chilton for 4 games of their offense. Let me know if you want this shared. This is kind of cool. So I did it a little bit different than Huddle because I want to see everything at the same time. So this is versus KLC, and this is versus Brilliant and Ron Colley and Keel. And then what you can do is you can just go up here and say, okay, I can look at all the run plays, the left plays, the right plays, the weak plays, the strong plays, the boundaries, and things like that. So this is what you have to know. Basically, kind of just going through the first time through until I get the rest of the data entered. But if you look at the plays that they're running, a lot of inside veer and power and trap, inside veer, power. Okay? When they throw the ball, meshes and wheels, mesh and wheel. Wheels they love. And then the highlight stuff that I'm working on right now, I'm setting up a different playlist for this. It's all their trick stuff. You know, so like their double passes, their handbacks, their hook and laterals. Okay, every game, and it's usually on that first drive, they introduce a new trick play. So why do they do those? They do them as tendency breakers. So you get things locked in your mind like, okay, coach said they do this, they do this, they do that, they do that. Then they throw a trick play on that first drive just to get your brain thinking backwards. Like, oh, coach didn't tell me about this, right? So they want you to second guess yourself and think. So don't second guess yourself. Don't think. Just play football, react, and we'll get you in the right position. A to Z again, inside veer. You can see all those in there. And traps. Wheels are big. They get a lot of mileage out of wheels. And this way, inside veers. And they run them pretty well. And what they'll do on their inside veers, they'll fold the backside guard. Usually Logan C, who's the left guard, they'll fold him to the right when they're running to our left, inside veer. And they love running their quarterback on their veer stuff. Like a lot of teams just run basically quarterback or fullback to quarterback. They seem like they like running more quarterback to pitch. So they like to get in that level or that second and third level of that progression. And then you see a lot of traps down in here too. Always wheels. Okay. So that's what I got so far. I'm going to finish adding stuff now, and I'll see you guys later. All right. Got any questions, let me know. Smell you later.